purpose does the gentleman from Illinois seek recognition?
Madam Speaker, I move that the House suspend the rules and pass the bill, H.R. 7081, the Ukraine Comprehensive Debt Payment Relief Act as amended, sponsored by Congressman Garcia.
The clerk will report the title of the bill.
H.R. 7081, a bill to seek immediate bilateral, multilateral, and commercial debt service payment relief for Ukraine.
Pursuant to the rule, the gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Garcia, and the gentleman from Arkansas, Mr. Hill, will each control 20 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Illinois.
Madam Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days within which to revise and extend their remarks on this legislation and to insert extraneous material thereon.
Without objection.
Madam Speaker, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
I rise in strong support of H.R. 7081, the Ukraine Comprehensive Debt Payment Relief Act, which I introduced earlier this year. Ukraine needs significant financial resources to sustain its defense against Putin's brutal invasion. So my bill would provide Ukraine with urgently needed relief from crushing debt payments to international financial institutions like the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, and the World Bank. Let me provide some context. This year alone, Ukraine owes $4.6 billion, more than $20 billion in total, to international institutions. And even as it is under siege from the invading Russian army, Ukraine still owes payments on that debt. For example, the IMF imposes additional surcharges on countries that already have high levels of debt or are behind on their payments. Ukraine is one of those countries. So while it fights a war against Russia, Ukraine also owes an estimated $14 million in surcharges to the IMF each month, money that it desperately needs to defend itself, provide vital services to its citizens, and once the war is over, to focus on reconstruction. These surcharges, along with loans and debt payments, will hold Ukraine back not only during this war, but for years to come. Now is not the time for development institutions to come collecting debts. And that's exactly why I introduced the Ukraine Comprehensive Debt Payment Relief Act. My bill would direct U.S. representatives at these institutions to support the immediate suspension of Ukraine's debt payments, direct our government to coordinate comprehensive debt relief for Ukraine from government and commercial creditors, and direct U.S. representatives to support additional financial assistance for Ukraine on generous terms. I'd also like to note key language that was put forth by Representative Beatty, which was included in the bill. The language makes clear that the financial assistance called for in the bill should include economic support for refugees from Ukraine for countries receiving refugees. It specifically includes support for refugees of African descent. African refugees from Ukraine have been experiencing discrimination in the current crisis. According to press reports, there have been incidents where African refugees from Ukraine have been stuck at the border, unable to cross safely while suffering through the cold without food or shelter. By adopting this bill, we will send a strong statement of support to these refugees. I'd like to thank Chair Waters, Ranking Member McHenry, and all those at the Financial Services Committee who helped get this bill to the House floor in a timely manner. So I urge support for H.R. 7081, a simple but urgent measure to let Ukraine focus its limited resources on defense, aid, and reconstruction, and I reserve the balance of my time.